This is the Atlanta comic who claims nationally known comedian Mike Epps and two of his associates beat him to a pulp. Lavar Walker's lawyer says it happened after Walker posted a 15-second Instagram video poking fun at Epps.
I said you was overrated.
Does this now mean that people are going to start killing and beating people for jokes that they make on their social networks? I mean, Mr. Lavar's job is a comedian. He makes jokes. Mr. Epps understands that.
The police report says the incident happened Saturday night at this Northwest Atlanta comedy club. Walker and his lawyer say Epps told Walker he wanted to see him outside.
So he goes outside, and immediately once he comes out there, he's attacked.
He struck me, and two other guys he had with him, they struck me and hospitalized me and beat me.
Then he picked him up by the shirt, and then he slammed him on a car.
This local comic told me he saw it all.
One of the guys that was with Mike Epps swung at him, hit him.
According to Bo, the suspects crushed Walker's cell phone and threw it on the roof next door. Monday afternoon, we were there as Atlanta police searched the roof of that building with the help of Atlanta Fire.
One, Mike Epps was definitely behind this. And two, it was definitely about that Vine video.
He says Epps' associates cold-cocked Walker in the face and then stomped on his head. Walker told police Epps also kicked him in the stomach and back when he was down.
He was beaten to the point where he had to go to Grady, and that's why this isn't a joke. This type of incident has to stop.
Walker and his lawyers say they'll file criminal and civil charges against Epps. The comedian, who says he saw the beating, told me he's disgusted.
I hope Mike Epps' popularity goes down. And if you can't take a joke, then you need to get out of comedy. I don't care how big you are.
It is the not-so-funny Comedic Smackdown. An Atlanta comedian accusing the famed Mike Epps and his bodyguards of jumping him outside of a club. Police are now investigating. Mike Epps sent out this tweet 2 hours ago saying, "Can't believe everything you read, folks." And earlier in the day saying, "I want to apologize to all my fans for the false that's put on me right now." Well, according to the police report, Epps was upset over an Instagram video made by Lavar Walker. Walker was poking fun at Epps and his feud with Kevin Hart. Here's the video.
Y'all looking good with government checkup in here. But yeah, Kevin, I said you was overrated.
Okay, here's the deal, Mike. Before you get on me, get your ticket sales up, pimp.
A number of media outlets are reporting that there is an arrest warrant out for Mike Epps. Atlanta PD has denied that to HLM, but clearly it's far from over. The alleged victim in this case, Lavar Walker, and his attorney are with us live in studio. Joey.
That's right. I have them right here. And in the consummate comedic way, all right, I have his attorney and him. So what does he say to me, Susan? What does LeVar Stewart say? He says, "I'm ugly enough. I don't need another beating." Very good of you to say that. I know this is a serious issue.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Tell me the backstory about this whole thing. The rumor has it that you are friends with maybe Mr. Hart, and that you were taking sides for Mr. Hart, and that maybe you crossed the line here in telling a joke that had some other social message. Tell us what happened.
No, first of all, my background, first of all, I'm a PharmD. I'm a pharmacist. I have a doctorate degree in pharmacy as well as a comedian. In 2012, I won the National Miller Lite Stand-Up Championship.
So you're good.
Right, in which I met Kevin Hart. Upon me doing comedy, I still actively work as a pharmacist and fill in, you know, from time to time when I don't have shows to help out my patients. Basically, the relationship with Hart, I mean, we're not like buddy-buddy, but the representation, we had the same representation at that particular time.
Okay.
And I work with Hart's group, which is the Plastic Cup
So
Boys.
for those who want to know, are you more friendly with Hart than you are with Mike Stewart?
I had never met Mike Epps.
Okay, Mike Epps.
My first time meeting him was when this incident occurred.
And for those who say that you may have crossed the line, and comedy's comedy, right? We all have to know how to laugh at each other and everything else. Was there something that you might have said that crossed that comedic line between it's funny and, you know what, it's personal?
I don't think so. I mean, did you see the joke?
I thought it was pretty funny, but there was a little bit of white powder on his under his nose.
I mean, you do parodies. You do parodies, and I mean, it's well documented. He talks about doing cocaine, so you know, it's just a parody. It's a 15-second video clip, and I should not have been beat and had my life threatened over a joke.
Absolutely. And so let me ask you, and let me go to this, Chris, as the attorney. What are you doing here? Apparently there's an arrest warrant out because there's, of course, prosecution for this. This shouldn't happen to your client. And then there's a civil component to it. Could you address both the underlying criminal charges to come as well as the civil component?
Yeah, Mr. Walker is going to be pressing charges criminally, and there will be a civil suit filed because this type of thing shouldn't happen. What he did was a parody. The video that you saw, all of that is fake. All of that is joke and pun.
Right.
Mr. Epps himself has done a number, Charlie Sheen, where he was doing all kind of stuff. Richard Sherman, he's impersonated a lot of people, and that's the only thing Mr. Walker did. And Mr. Walker actually looked up to him.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mike Epps. I'm a fan. You know, a few weeks ago, me and my wife was watching Mike Epps comedy, laughing.
Well, you know what gets me?
And when I was when he called me out of the club, I got excited. I'm like, oh man, I'm meeting my hero.
Absolutely.
I go out to meet him.
And that
no talking.
That is no joke. You're sticking around. Fortunately, we got much more to talk about. And we want to make this very clear. We cannot confirm the statements made by our guest, that's Lavar Walker, or his attorney, about Mike Epps' reported drug use. We also want to emphasize that we reached out to Mike Epps to get his side of the story. Neither Mr. Epps or his representatives have responded to our repeated calls and emails.
Y'all looking good with government checkup in here. But yeah, Kevin, I said you was overrated.
Okay, here's the deal, Mike. Before you get on me, get your ticket sales up, pimp.
Seems pretty funny to me. So an Atlanta comedian claims that Mike Epps and his bodyguards beat him up because of that Instagram video. In it, he poked fun at Epps and his feud with Kevin Hart. The whole beef got started in early May when Mike Epps went on the radio and called out Kevin Hart. Take a listen.
I'm not supposed to say this, but one overrated comedian.
One overrated comedian, Kevin Hart.
Whoa! Wow! Dang! Shots fired! Mike always keeps it real. Man, I thought they were having beef and it was a joke.
Hey, in this business right here, guess what? Sometimes marketing can be bigger than talent.
Ouch! That didn't sit well with Kevin Hart, who took to Twitter later that night. And what'd he say? Just heard Mike Epps called me overrated on the radio this AM. I missed it because I was working on set, right? Do you remember what that is? Later, he fired off another one. Oh, one more thing, Mike Epps. If you keep talking crazy, I will book shows the same day as you in the same cities and shut you down. The comedians finally talked it out 5 days later, and Epps tweeted, "Our fans deserve better." Lavar and his attorney, Chris Stewart, still with me. Back to you. So now you were called out, right, Lavar, and you thought this was someone you really looked up to, right?
Yeah.
And you thought you were just saying hello.
Yeah, I thought he was like, maybe come and say, man, you stupid for that video. Or that was, you dumb. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I wasn't coming out there thinking I would be attacked.
And so what happened? You get out there, and
I get out there, I see Epps, I go black. Boom! Hey, Mike. Boom, 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 boom. I'm thrown over the hood of the Ferrari.
By him, his bodyguards, or both?
It was him. I felt him. Okay. I saw him hit me. Then two other guys was with him. They hit me. I'm covering up, ducking, trying to get down. I'm being slammed on the hood of the Ferrari. They threw me on another car, and I'm just feeling my body move. But I can see him.
Were you unconscious at any point, or no?
I think I kind of blacked out a little bit, man.
Ouch.
After being hit continuously.
I didn't know it was that dangerous to be a comedian. So, Chris, if I can ask you.
That's the issue, and there's a little more background to the situation. He's never met Mike Epps before the fight. He posted that video. A day later, Mike Epps gets his cell phone number and leaves a voicemail saying, "I need to see you up at Uptown. I need to see you at the club." We have the recording.
So a voicemail was left. I suspect that would be part of the prosecution.
Mike Epps, who he's never met, leaves him a voicemail saying, "Meet me up at the club. I need to holler at you."
Ouch.
And then Lavar calls a mutual friend and says, "Why is Mike Epps calling me?" And the mutual friend says that he was upset.
I told him about it. I said, man, I was thinking to myself, I said, man, Instagram is powerful. My hero called me, Mike Epps. I said, that's powerful. So I'm thinking I made like a video that was really funny, And maybe he saw it. I don't have a lot of Instagram followers.
Absolutely.
That video probably got 100 likes
And quickly,
at that time.
what would you
know
like
I'm
to
saying?
say to Mike Epps, if anything, at this time?
I mean, man, I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. And you know what I mean? It just wasn't cause for. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a street person.
You're a comedian.
I'm a
And
comedian.
a funny one with a bright future.
And a pharmacist.
And a pharmacist. With a great
And I'm
lawyer.
not, you know,
Pleasure and a privilege. Thanks so much. Chris Stewart.
Thank you.
Lavar Walker.
Thank you.
Many better days ahead. Let's hope for justice and let justice be served here.